That's so sweet. I know, I've just got a thing for baskets. I think we're going for it, aren't we?
Yeah.
It smells amazing. Nice thing is all the veggie is in there, the potato, the fish, so it's a one pot wonder. This is a really good activity to do a couple of days after getting your nails done. I am going to make an olive and cheese sourdough. I seem to have accidentally turned into some kind of plant lady. This is so weird. Morning and welcome back to a new weekend vlog. It is Good Friday today and I am heading out the door with Aid as we are heading to B&M. It's been a bit of a crazy couple of days, so I'll catch up with you in a bit, but we are going to be doing some really, really nice things today with you, and we look forward to sharing them with you. So the reason we've come to B&M is for some gardening bits. I've heard from quite a few of you that you're really enjoying all the gardening and the plant inspiration. We're quite new to this in some ways. You've dabbled a lot more than I have, but we're actually really, really enjoying it. And my nail lady told me to check out B&M for gardening bits and pieces, which we've never done actually, have we?
No, because I've actually got an outside like garden centre place as well, so we're going to have a look.
So she recommended this one, so we're going to go and have a little nosy. We've got a few bits and pieces that we want to have a look at, but we'll check out the home stuff as well, because we quite like B&M for the home bits and pieces, don't we? We thought it's quite
inspiration, isn't it?
Quite a nice thing to do on a bank holiday. Let's have a little look and see what they've got here. I'm after some herbs as well, actually. What's that one? That looks like sage or something. I was after some of those. I do love all the little pansies. Oh, this weather's not very nice today. See some sage. They're four for £10, which isn't bad, or just one pot for £3. Love these little pink ones. We're just having a Google to see if they come up year after year. Sucker for a pretty basket. I like that one a lot. That one's so nice. £8 these baskets. Oh, there's some different shaped ones as well, and some plainer ones. Some really pretty things in here at the moment. Wreaths are quite pretty. I quite fancy a spring wreath because ours is very Eastery with lots of eggs. Oh, look at these. They're like big acorns, look. £2 to clear. They're quite nice, aren't they? I love the home stuff in here. It is really cheap and cheerful, but it's quite tasteful, a lot of it as well, isn't it? Oh, you'll like this clock. £7, this retro wall clock. That's quite you, isn't it? Shame it has the word retro. I like the baskets. Oh, look at that one. That's so sweet. I know, I've just got a thing for baskets. It looks a bit autumnal, doesn't it? I quite like it though. But in the autumn. Oh, £2. Quite like the little soup bowls. Steer free from the mugs, yeah. Not getting sucked in today.
When your life's been put on
The outdoor bits, there's some larger lavenders. What else is here? Oh, that's quite pretty, the blue. I wanted to find some chives. This is like, is that similar to what's growing at the back of the garden that we planted? I think so. Oh, some gooseberries. Oh, look at the tiny little blueberry. You think what we paid for our really well-established blueberry bush? And that's £4. I'd much rather, I think we paid about 25, but we had blueberries off it. You think our first season. I think that might be it for us in the gardening section bit today. Some peppers and things. It's a bit early unless you've got a greenhouse at the moment though, isn't it? For these bits. Yeah. Let's have a little look and see what's over here. What's here? Oh, it's a wisteria. Oh yeah, terracotta pots was the other thing. I'd forgotten about that. That's what happens when you don't look at your list, isn't it? These are quite pretty, the dahlias. What's around here? Oh, these are nice. Oh, lupins. These are so pretty. These are nice. Looks, I like how... Oh, look, these were the ones that we saw. We're tempted by the jasmines. from Disneyland Paris and the American History Museum. This one's got pink on it, or they've all got a bit of pink. They smell so good. Are you tempted?
Yeah, this one here. It
Yeah,
looks like it's kind of
they're quite well established. They've got some nice plants here, actually, haven't they? I think we're going for it, aren't we?
Yeah.
It smells amazing. Yeah?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it. Got the jasmine, the car smells amazing. We even had somebody stop us by the till when we were paying, saying how nice it smelled. That is the smell that we've been wanting on the outside of our house. It's so lovely. I just want to say hello to Debbie and thank you for coming to say hello. It was so lovely to meet you. And I hope your move goes well. Popping into a little favourite plant centre that we like. I was wanting some terracotta pots for inside, actually. Seen something on Instagram that really caught my eye. Wanting some fruit trees as well, aren't we? That's exactly what I was after for my basil. This is the wall that we're wanting to focus on when we get out of the car to put something against. So it smells nice when we get out the car and it just fills up this wall space. It felt really nice to get out the house. I also picked up in B&M some gardening gloves. I cannot find my old gardening gloves since we've moved. My neighbour gifted me some that they weren't using and they were such good gloves, and I don't know where they are, but I can't buy normal gloves because they're too big for me. So Aid saw these kids ones in B&M, so I'm going to try these. £1.25, and they're a little bit on the short side, but finger wise they are perfect. Actually, they do feel a little bit, they could have been a little, they're not ideal actually. They're just a little bit too small, but they're better than, I can't use adult ones because they just feel too chunky. You know, when you can't actually grip? Yeah, these are a little bit on the small side actually. They could have just been done, but they're better than nothing. And I'd prefer this than a bit too big. And then I picked up, these are the seasonings I bought last time. I don't know if you remember, they're £1 and our son really, really liked them. So I bought this peri-peri salt for him. And do you remember we bought the Chinese salt and chili pepper seasoning? We did Chinese chips and they were amazing. So I picked up one of these for him as well because he loves all the different seasonings. So I told him I would get those for him. And Aid bought some barbecue things, some cleaner brushes, and we bought the jasmine, which we're really excited about to plant out. And then we went to the small garden, the plant centre, which we love. We love the independent places for advice and the more kind of specialist things. So we've bought quite a few things from there, and each time we chat to people and actually speak on how to look after things and how best places to grow them and that. So when we bought our blueberry plant, the lady was so helpful and she told us what kind of like soil they need to be in and what compost we needed to buy. And it's just so helpful to know that, especially when you're spending quite a bit of money on things, just to have that advice. So I spoke to you a couple of weeks ago about growing the apple trees in the garden, and we loved the way that they grow them in the American Museum and Gardens near Bath. And we've been looking at the, is it espalier, something like that? I said to you about wanting to grow them across the wall. We've been watching videos, learning how to cut them and all that. So we went to the garden centre, we were looking for those. They grow everything themselves. They're still in the nursery. They're not going to be out for a couple more weeks. The lady there was so helpful. And we've bought, because we've got quite clay soil, she's recommended we get some farm compost in. Apparently it's really good to prepare the area first. It breaks down the compost and will be a much better kind of like prepared area for when we get the trees. So we bought the compost today from them, and then we can go back there in a couple of weeks to get the trees, which we're really excited about. Aid's mum and dad gave us some garden centre vouchers that you can use in pretty much any garden centre about 18 months ago for Christmas, and we still haven't spent them, and we didn't want to just use them for the sake of it. We wanted to use it on something special, so that feels like a really, really nice gift. So we're going to go back there and get a couple of trees for the garden. Aid's really excited about training them because they kind of like grow sideways, and apparently they are the best miniature fruit trees to grow with the most amount of crop. So we're very excited. So yeah, we'll be going back there in a couple of weeks. And I got my terracotta pots. There we go. I needed a saucer for a plant upstairs. I've been using a plate from the kitchen. It's completely destroyed now, but I need one of these. And then I saw on Instagram about planting your basils in a big pot to keep inside, and they get massive. The ones that they showed they'd only had for 3 months. And this one from Lidl that I bought, I think last week, was £1 something, and it's already growing really tall, bearing in mind I've been hacking away at it. So my plan is to grow it in here because I want a really big plant. I might get another one because I use a lot of it, so I want it to bush out. But it just smells so good, doesn't it? I think basil is one of the best smelling herbs. I do quite like it in there as well though. But yeah, so I want to grow basil inside as well, so I'm excited to do that. Anyway, enough with the talking. It may only be 20 to 3, but I'm going to make a fish pie, and then I'm going to continue working again. It just felt really good to get out the house today. It really did. I think we came in at the right time. It is now, I didn't even realise, absolutely pouring with rain. So I'm glad we went to the garden place when we did. Look how lovely the chives look there with the sage. I bought another sage today. They look so lovely. I love the purple flowers on them. They are just growing so well. I want to get some more of those, the little fillers in the garden. The yellow there is broccoli. It hasn't grown super well. That's come up though from last year, but it does look pretty when it's in flower. Anyone else feel like they need to have fish on Good Friday? It feels like the right thing to do, doesn't it? I'm just going to make a really quick and easy fish pie. I've made it on here loads of times. We love this food. It's like ultra comfort food to us. So I'm just going to scrape away at the potatoes. I'm not even going to properly take the skin off. And we are going to just boil them up and gently mash them. It's not going to be like super well done. It's still going to be lumpy, and but that adds to the mash. I like a bit of rustic mash on a fish pie. Let me know what you eat on Good Friday. Do you also start the day with hot cross buns and end with fish? I like a bit of tradition. So I'm not using any fancy fish. I've defrosted some cod that was stickered. It was £1.49 from Lidl. And then the other thing I do, quite often when I buy some fish, there's like maybe 3 pieces, but we only need 2. So then I freeze the extra piece, and then sometimes that will be enough then over a few times to make up a fish pie. So I've got a little bit of that left over. So I'm going to pop some of this, but I wish I'd saved some of the prawns that I used from last weekend. That would have been quite nice. I didn't even think about that. And I ended up even throwing some of it away, sadly. I did some, prawn cocktail. Not all of it got eaten, but when it's been left out on the table as well, you can't really pop it back in the fridge. It's obviously not the right thing to do. So it's just going to be cod today, but that would be lovely. It's quite a decent amount here actually for £1, whatever it was. Quite pleased with that. We're going to add some veggies in there as well. Oh, this looks so nice. Definitely fancying this kind of cozy food today. We actually planned our food for the whole of the Easter bank holiday weekend. So we had hot cross buns this morning, fish pie tonight. We're going to do banana scramble because I've got berries that need eating, and charcuterie tomorrow. We're going to have a roast dinner on Sunday. Haven't actually decided on Monday yet, I'm not quite sure. So that is my fish. I'm going to pop in some carrots and some peas. Making out my quick cheat spruce sauce, a little bit of flour, a little bit of butter and some milk. And we're just gonna whisk that until we've got the consistency that we want. And then we'll be adding cheese to make it a little bit cheesy and some seasoning. I've made up my cheese sauce. It's not overly cheesy because obviously it would clash with the fish a bit. And I've got frozen peas, I've cut up some green beans, and we've got fresh carrots and some sweet corn. Bit of butter, a little bit of milk and some seasoning, and I've drained, my potatoes, and I'm just mashing up with a fork. I usually, if it's mash on its own, I would usually put it through the blender, the KitchenAid, but I like rustic mash for fish pie. I like the lumpy bits that then go a bit crispy on top. So I'm just going to continue to do this with a fork. And I like to keep all the skins on, like I said, for a fish pie. And then let's add our rustic mash. Aid's playing with ice cubes. Aid, does that mean you're going to be making cocktails later?
Oh, I do.
Haven't had any for a while, have we?
Try something new, can you?
Have I done enough mash to cover? I don't know if I have. Oh yeah, we were going to try my new gin. I forgot about that. I think we might just have enough mash. Let's just add just a little sprinkling of cheese over the top. You could always add cheesy breadcrumbs as well. That would be quite nice. I'm not adding all this cheese because I'm about to make some sourdough. And I'm saving a little bit to go on the top of that as well. So I'm just having a little bit of a coating. There we go. And we'll pop that in the oven. I am going to make an olive and cheese sourdough, purely for charcuteries this weekend. I prepped this sourdough yesterday, and I've just had the cast iron pot in the oven. See how sticky this is. It's not too bad. Just been cutting up olives. I just buy the cheap ones from Lidl to go in bread. They're quite mushy, which is quite nice, but they just add a real saltiness, which we really like. I've got the parmesan out, so I'm going to grate some of that through this as well and just mix it all in and fold it in a bit.
When your life's been put on hold for far too long, when the sorrow and despair is growing strong, there is always something good to be obtained from breaking loose and leave the things that kept you chained. So when you find the strength to really shed your skin, all you really need to do is search within.
This fish pie looks, it smells so delicious, and the nice thing is all the veggie is in there, the potato, the fish, so it's a one pot wonder. So we can just dish it up as it is. How hungry are you? Okay. I cannot wait for this tonight. Can you tell how much we enjoyed that fish pie? There's hardly anything left. The cheese and olive sourdough looks delicious. I am back with all the gardening stuff. It is now 1:30 the following day and I have finally got all my kits out. I am so pleased. I got up early and finished them this morning and Aid kindly took them to the post office, so they've all gone. I've just realised, sorry, Aid's got some Star Wars thing on in the background. These are the pots, this is the pot I picked up yesterday. We have just had a nice walk to supermarket and I've bought myself another basil plant. I want to give this a go. I'm just trying to get the sticky label off. I can't do that, I don't want to ruin my nails. So I was looking on Instagram and somebody posted this picture of this 3 huge basil. They were ginormous and they were supermarket basil and they were just 3 months after purchasing them. So I want to give it a go. They shared some tips, so I'm going to share the tips with you now as well. I popped this one in the kitchen just the other day, just from Lidl, like I said, £1 something. I popped it in there and it has grown so tall. I have been hacking away at it. Something they say is to cut it, don't just pull bits off. So, and the smell is amazing. So they say to get a good sized terracotta pot and your plant will grow into it. So that's what we're going to try and do. I'm still trying to get this label off. Oh, maybe I've done it this time. This was £2.49 and I bought the saucer. These are going to live inside. I bought the saucer to go underneath. That was £2.09. And they say to water the saucer and you always keep it topped up because the plant will take what it wants. So we need a bit of drainage. So I've got an old broken pot that lives out on the side there that I use to pop in my pot. And I am going to put in some peat-free compost. That's going to go in here.
That's for indoors as well, isn't that, compost?
Yeah, this is for indoors. Yeah, I'm excited about this. I want a huge, great big basil. And this basil that I've just bought was £1.25. So, oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to, Aid came up with the idea of, let me just put the camera down so you can see, of breaking it, or not breaking, but separating them. So at the moment, as you can see, they're all together, but splitting them out because there's quite a few plants here, and separating them out into the pot so it's not one great big clump in the middle.
Just gives room then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gives it a bit more room to grow. So I'm going to do that. I quite liked that idea. Let's pop these in here, press them down.
Might make a hole first.
No, I'm going to put more soil on.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm doing. Like that, and then I've more soil around the outside. I was tempted to do the big one that I've got there, but it's quite well settled, so I've decided to leave it be. I'm excited about this. I want a huge, great big basil plant, and they like the light, so I might actually put it by the back door. I want to see how this goes. It looks, when you see it like this, all spread out actually.
Gives a bit more room for them to grow, doesn't it?
Yeah. And we'll keep it well watered, but only from the saucer. This feels like a nice activity to do at the weekend. This is a really good activity to do a couple of days after getting your nails done. There, what do you think?
Yeah.
Definitely do this inside before you vacuumed. There we go. I think that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, you could probably put a little bit more around that top bit. Love the smell of basil.
I know, it's so good, isn't it?
Just put it there so it just... That's it. That's fine. You always put a bit more in if you find it needs it.
Soil all over the floor. Something you can do, if you are putting these like on a work surface or something, you can get the little, or on a windowsill, you can get the little like felt sticky circles to pop under, because I've ruined most of my windowsills in the house with my plant pots. I like a terracotta pot. I'm going to pop it down here for now. We'll see how that goes. Definitely a nice light spot, and hopefully it will get really, really tall. We'll keep an eye on that one. Remember when I took those tiny little weeds out of my devil's ivy the other day? They are actually growing, and I think they might be the Chinese money plant, just from, what do you think, looking at the leaf shape? So that's what I'm thinking they could be, which is quite exciting. But they definitely haven't died. I wanted to take some cuttings from my devil's ivy, my new one, which is growing very nicely at the back. I've just realised I've got a book on it. I'm thinking, because this one is so long, about taking the one off the back. And apparently you cut them sort of like, I would cut one there, because they grow from the nodes. So if I cut it there, you then remove the two leaves and they should grow roots from there. If I'm wrong, let me know. But that's how I've understood it. So like, although I want the length here, if I were to cut here, you remove the couple of leaves and that's where the roots should grow from. This one is just growing like crazy though. So I've got my jar of water. I've cut the two that were right at the back that couldn't be seen anyway. So I'm going to take that off there, and let's see if that then roots. And I'm going to do exactly the same with that one. I think I've done it right, or understood it right. Need to make sure that the nodes are actually in water as well. I think that might need to be a bit deeper. There we go, larger jar, and hopefully those will root. Well, in that time, the water has already gone, it's already soaked it up. Need to add some more. So I'm finishing off this video actually almost 2 weeks later, and I'm editing it and I've realised I haven't put the end on, but actually I'm going to update you on those plants. By the way, you need to try that fish pie. It's so delicious. I was just editing it and I just said to Aid, I really, really fancy that now. I could just eat that all over again. Let me show you the plants. So 2 weeks later, here is the basil. I've watered it already today and it's already gone up. I love how the terracotta pot look. It's gone like white, and every day it gets whiter and whiter. I really, really like that because it looks sort of worn. Let me know, why does it do that? I'm so intrigued. I think the plant's growing well. I love Aid's idea of like, sort of like filling it out, sort of separating all the bits and pieces so it's not all growing together. It actually looks like a really big plant and it's growing nicely. When I first planted it, loads of leaves fell off, but it seems to be quite happy now. I seem to have accidentally turned into some kind of plant lady. This is so weird considering, what, 3 years ago I'd never had anything to do with plants. This one is the one that I think, let me know, is that, do you think, one of those Chinese money plants? It's growing every day. I'm seeing growth in this. That's crazy, isn't it? From just something I took out of another plant. I need to put some more water in this. These are the devil's ivy cuttings that I took. By the way, I so wish I'd bought more of these little pots from Sostering Green. They had them in loads of different colours, £2.44. It's such a lovely size. Yeah, the devil's ivy hasn't really done anything. Got those tiny, I don't know if they're roots or not. It's been 2 weeks now. So I have bought rooting powder since, so any tips I would be very appreciative. However, this monstera, it was our daughter's, it was ginormous, and then it just got too big for the pot. I haven't looked after it, and I just thought, I can't deal with this. It practically died off. So I cut loads of bits off it before I got rid of it, and it's going crazy. It started growing roots within the week, and now it's just growing all these leaves as well. I need to plant this up. I because it's actually becoming too big even for this pot. Look at all these leaves, and they're so expensive to buy. This one as well. Look. I don't know if, oh look, this one's got, yeah, I'm going to need to get a decent sized pot I think for this, but I'm really pleased about that because it was, oh, this one's growing, well, this one's actually going to start, so it's got a root on there. I'm going to finally finish this video now. Thank you so much for being here with me. Any tips on my plants, please let me know. I am so open to any suggestions or advice. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to sharing our weekend with you that's coming up next because it was really lovely. So that will be with you next weekend. Take care, have a lovely week, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.